sitting here with Esden Stafne. He is the lead bassist of Saturdays at Your Place. Saturdays has a new song coming out soon called Tarot Cards, September 23rd.
That's it. Pre-save, baby. Link in bio.
All three Saturdays members wrote the song, but Esden, you started the song, right?
I started the song and I wrote a majority of the lyrics. And I wrote a lot of the song before I brought it to them, and then we all fleshed it out together.
Okay, so what's the first thing you wrote?
The first thing I wrote was she said, her friends don't like me, well I don't like me too, I get nervous at parties. That's what I had first. I had that little nugget. And I had that in my head, it just came in my head. And then, so I...
What did it sound like in your head? Did you hear, like, the chords? Did you kind of have an idea of when the chords change?
I just heard the melody and the words.
Okay.
That's it. It just popped in my head one day, and I thought that's really catchy. So I figured out the chords.
How did you figure out the chords? Is this a bass or a guitar?
Guitar.
Okay.
Yeah, I did it on... I just figured it out on the guitar. But, yeah, I wanted it to feel, like, really open, so I have, like... Initially, it wasn't played with a capo, and then Mitch added that capo.
Was it always an A, or we should back up a bit? Right?
Okay, yeah, we'll back up.
I'm so sorry.
We're getting ahead of ourselves.
Well, you could say it. I could say it if you'd like, but Tarot Cards is in the key of A, capo 2. Standard tuning.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
For the guitar.
Yes.
For the bass, it's standard
bass,
tuning.
I play it however I want.
Okay. So you wrote it in A with standard tuning, no capo. Or you had the ideas at least. You chunked out some ideas.
I wrote it in G.
Okay.
I wrote it in G, and then Mitch added the capo when he wrote
and then brought it up. Okay.
Yeah, when he wrote the intro riff, because he wrote that little intro riff.
Awesome.
And then he's like, that sounds a lot better if you bring it up with the capo.
It does.
Yeah.
Twinklier.
Yeah, it's more twinkly. That was the whole point.
Okay.
I want to go back to that later because there's a funny story about that. But we should
I want to back up just a little bit on one thing. I want you to try to describe the song, and what your philosophy behind the song is, or whatever the goal is behind the song. I don't know how you think about the song, but what is the song in a nutshell?
So, I was just like forced to think about this a lot when we were doing like our Spotify pitch, but it was like so. Anyways, so I was forced to think about it a lot when we did our Spotify pitch, and really, Mitch, I don't want to say I wrote probably 90% of the lyrics, and Mitch and I, there's a few spots where I was having trouble writing a part for the verse, and Mitch and I sat down and like figured out a line that would fit well with the story of the song. Mitch and I do that a lot.
Okay.
But like overall, like it's about like it's about like, you know, being at a party and like seeing someone you like, you know, seeing a girl.
Yeah.
But that's the obvious part. But like when I wrote the verses, it's more about like because I wrote that initial part, like that initial, like she said her friends don't like me, blah blah blah. I wrote that like over a year ago, and then I only had that for a long time. And then when I wrote the verses, the verses are more about being like a narcissist, and like I'm like I would have never really considered myself a narcissist, but when we started playing music and you start getting attention, and I'm sure you can like I'm sure you understand this. It's like you start to get a big head. You're like, yeah, I am in a band. People sing my songs.
Okay, now this is why I like the song, because this is my favorite Saturday song. This is why I like the song so much, is because it switches. When you're at the party, you're like staring at your phone, you're nervous, you feel like I don't belong here, all that kind of stuff. And then why is it so easy to switch and then just be on stage?
Yeah, I don't know. Well, it's like because you're the entertainment. That's the thing.
Okay,
The whole the line, tonight I will be your entertainment. It's like I had that in my head, and I was just thinking like you feel so much more confident, and you get like that, you get an ego almost, and like I feel like this is like this song, I wanted it to be like a push and pull between like just being just absolutely overwhelmed and completely nervous at a party,
Yeah.
but at the same time you're nervous because the attention's not on you, and because people aren't paying attention to you, and you don't like,
Yeah.
it's harder to hide in a crowded room. It's like that line is true. It's like, yeah, you're like trying to get away from the spotlight, but you're not really, you're like, I wish this was about me right now. And that's like the whole like tarot cards. I don't really hate tarot cards that much. It's just the idea of the attention being brought off of me at that moment is like what I wrote that about. And it's like, it's not something I'm proud of, but it's something I've like, I found that like you want that attention, like after being in a band. It's like that's desired.
I relate to the song quite a bit because I think it really kind of it shows the life of, at least me, I'll speak for myself, of playing in a basement or playing at a show where it's just I was never good at parties or anything like that, and then just something switches, and there's a certain amount of like whiplash associated with that too.
Yeah.
Where it's just like, and then you're done playing, and then you're right back to where you were, and it just kind of this weird thing, and then people are, oh, nice set, and it feels like it can't get to me.
Yeah,
Because it's just like
up there.
Yeah, and
I
I can't even hear it. I can't even. Oh, you played great. And I don't even hear it. It's just like feels so.
Thanks, I don't believe you.
I don't exactly. Thank you. I just don't believe you.
Yeah, it's like thank you. I appreciate it. We'll be better next time. I'm sorry. That's how I feel every time. Sorry for that mistake I made. That's the only thing I'm thinking about for the rest of the night.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, let's talk more about lyrics and how you write lyrics, just mechanistically, like beyond the whole the story and stuff like that. Like how do you force yourself to write lyrics, I guess?
I can't force myself to write lyrics. I have a really hard time with that. I guess I can, because I'm not gonna lie, the whole like they're pulling out the tarot cards, I fucking hate this, I hide in the basement, blah blah blah. That through Tonight I Will Be Your Entertainment, I wrote that the day before we recorded it, because I didn't have anything there.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, when the band cuts out and it's just the vocals, you didn't have anything.
Nothing. yeah. So I was like, well, shit, I need to figure something out, and I just couldn't get anything that I liked. Initially, like, the second verse was, you might think I'm awkward, I'll pretend to know how to ride a skateboard. And it was just stupid. And, like, I had that for long. It's really clunky, stupid. And, like, I hated that, but it was, like, the only thing I could think of, and it just felt, like basic and, like, forced. And so I was like, fuck no, I'm not gonna.
Do you have lyrics that you've ever written that, you hate, but they just will not get out of your head? So you say, fuck it, that's what the lyric has to be, because it won't get out of my head.
Yeah, I mean, this whole song is like, it's so like it's very cheesy, but like owning up to that cheesiness, I feel like it just feels good, because I know everybody's had a conversation with someone at the party where they compliment your shirt. You're like, thanks, nice shoes.
Yeah.
You're like, something like that, and like. Those lines, I like wanted to write something different for a long time, and then I just eventually was like, I'll just own that,
Yeah, I really like that line, because it really it puts the image in your head.
Mm-hmm.
It really kind of takes it and makes it really kind of real.
Yeah, the setting, like it makes you really like it makes you dive into that setting. You're like, oh yeah, like this is a party where everybody's a little awkward and just looking for something to start a conversation about.
So you talked about setting, and we've talked about this before, about how you sometimes think about like where you are and stuff like that. Now, does tarot cards, is it in a specific house?
Yeah, it is in a specific house, a very specific house. It's in a house. I used to have a group of friends. I don't really see them much anymore, because I dated someone in the friend group, and we broke up, and it was just like, I felt like I couldn't like go back into that friend group,
Uh-huh.
And I have a lot of friends, which I'm lucky to have a lot of friends. But
you heard it here first, folks.
Listen, I've got a lot of friends. I don't need. No, but like I do miss those people a lot, and they're like they're awesome people. But like we used to like have like a routine almost, this party, and I'd see this person there. I'd always be like, oh man.
So it wasn't a house show.
No. It was initially not about a house show. And even then, like the I fucking hate this, I'll hide in the basement. That's the line. It's not so hot in the basement. It's like I'll hide in the basement.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it is a little bit about house shows, because house shows are like parties.
What were you thinking when you hide in the basement?
Like I'm gonna go sit in the basement, because you guys are playing or doing tarot card readings, and you're not paying attention to me, and I don't know what to do, so I'm gonna go hide.
My initial thought when I heard that line for the first time was, like you're at a house show, and then you're like, Is that thing in my base case? And then you go down looking in the base case, and you weren't really even looking for something. You were just kind of
you're
like, just kind of fucking around where all the instruments are.
Yeah,
because you got nothing else to do. Just like,
I've done that. I've hid in the basement.
Yeah.
In many different ways.
Okay.
But no, yeah, that's what that's about. Because that feeds into that needing of attention. It's like, because after you play a show, it just, excuse me, or you're in a band, it's like it's really fun to hang out with your close friends. But when you're around a group of people that like you don't know very well, for some reason it feels like it's this weird feeling of, why is this not about me? But like it's not a good thing.
It feels like that, like where it feels like you now are missing that kind of thing, or what?
It's like, yeah, I miss being on stage. If I'm around people I don't know, I'd rather be performing for them than just sitting around and trying to interact.
Yeah, I'm trying to interact.
Like performing feels so much easier and so much more natural.
Okay.
And I mean, I shouldn't say that all the time, because I still get really nervous at shows.
Yeah.
But like, it feels way easier to do that than to be like, hey, how are you?
Yeah.
With a person you don't talk to very much.
Yeah. I'll just say a thought that I've had before is, you're at a house show, you're going to play later, and it's just hard to talk to people or whatever. You don't expect everyone to be like, hey, how's it going, whatever. But you're just kind of sitting there, kind of wandering around, you got your few friends. And then you play, and then people want to talk to you after you play. Mm-hmm. And I always kind of resented that. Like, it felt so weird. It felt like I didn't earn anything, and then people are trying to talk to me now, and I never liked that.
Yeah, that is a thing too. It's like before, but I like to think of it as a way as like I used to go to house shows a lot, and like I was afraid to talk to you at house shows.
Yeah, I remember you told me that. I don't like that.
Yeah, and I mean it's just because I was like just the kid going to the house show, and you were in the band, and I liked your band, so it's like I just can't. I've never met Al before. I can't go up to Al and say, hey, I really like your music. That'd be weird, but it's not weird. Because now, like from our perspective, it's like I love that. Like it's cool. Come introduce yourself. Like it's really cool to meet people. Mm-hmm. But I feel like if I ever were to approach you, it'd be after the set, and I could be like, "Hey, nice set." It feels like that's always like an end to a conversation, but it's really not. Yeah. Like, "Hey, nice set." It's like there's not much that you can say to that as a musician. It's like, "Oh, thank you."
Yeah. And I'm always in go mode after a set. I'm always trying to clean up stuff and move stuff around.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
Like there's another band coming on,
It's like talking to someone before a set is actually way better, I feel like. Like, at least like when there's like hours and hours to kill. It's like, yeah, I'd love to talk to you then, but afterwards it's kind of hard.
Yeah,
it's like I'm trying to get my shit out of here. I'm sweaty. I'm gross.
Okay. I'm going to look at my notes again, see if I got another question. Okay, we talked about Mitch's adding. We can talk more about Mitch's guitar part.
Yeah.
So you wrote stuff on guitar. How much of the guitar part did you write?
So I wrote the chord progression for the chorus.
Okay.
Like just that little simple thing. You probably know what it's.
1-4-5-4.
Yeah, the 1-4-5-4. Yeah. I wrote that, and then I wrote the riff, like the outro riff, the down.
Yeah.
I wrote that. Okay. On a shift, I was working at Guitar Center.
With all the pull-offs and hammer-ons and stuff? Yeah. I can't play it, but...
Yeah, I like to write. When I write, I usually gravitate towards stuff like that. It's like, just because it's fun to play.
Okay.
But like, I wrote that riff, and then I was like, it'd be cool if I had a really like a busy chord progression, or I guess it's not busy, but like a chord progression with movement underneath of it. then I wrote that chord progression during that whole like outro instrumental section.
I see what you're saying.
And then I was like, it should come back to the chorus after that. But
okay, so the chord progression in the interlude, let's call it interlude.
yeah,
Where it's just kind of the instrumental part.
Mm-hmm.
Was it a 1-6-4-5? Is that what's going on?
It goes from
A to F sharp, right?
it goes.
You want to play it?
Yeah, yeah.
I'm sorry.
No, yeah. This is what we have them for, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, so
I'm just gonna hold this and act like I can be Mitch. Mitch, you're a really good guitar player. I cannot play as good as you can.
Mitch is a very good guitar player. So I mean, the chord progression is it goes D. B. F sharp. Then it starts coming back up. Goes back to the chorus. But like I wrote that on guitar and it's all just like open. It's all just like weird, or it's not weird open chords, but it's like a chord progression of like chords that I just learned, where it's like you don't really have to. You're only holding down. I don't have the guitar.
A few strings at a time. I think we're out of tune. That's the only problem.
That's fine.
You want to play it?
Yeah, I can show you.
Please.
I haven't played guitar in a minute. But like, so the chord progression, it's like C. Is this what, C major 7?
Sure. Yeah.
No.
That
That is okay.
Yeah.
And then it goes to A something.
A minor 7.
A minor 7, and then it's just regular G.
A minor.
Yep. And then I go back to
A again.
oh yeah, no, yeah, it goes from E minor to A major 7. Yeah.
Okay.
But like, yeah, I wrote that and it's just like, you know, it's only holding down one or
Can you play the riff?
wait here. I initially wrote it to like go up at the end and hit like the harmonics, but Mitch goes.
Yeah, he goes with a ding dong in the middle though.
Yeah, he does that. So like I always write that, and then Mitch will be like, "Oh, I'm gonna make it a little more interesting," which is like really nice with playing with Mitch. It's like,
Oh, he can play anything.
yeah, he can play anything, and then he's like, "Oh, I don't like that chord," so he changes it. It sounds way better. It's like, yeah, he just he'll pick it apart and just make sure it sounds the best that it can.
Okay, I love that riff over top of those chord changes. I mean,
You changed the root note too. I wasn't changing the root note, but
Yeah.
like me and Mitch, like when we worked on it, we're like, yeah, we have to change the root note.
yeah.
Like,
Yeah, I love those changes, and then I especially love it when in the chorus you do the "friends don't like me, and I don't like me too," and then when you do the what I say coda, is like you extend the chorus one more time, and then you go back into the interlude chords.
yeah,
That's just like hair raise on your arms every time.
and then it goes into the dance beat. And
Yeah,
then you're yeah, I love that part.
I love that so much.
Yeah,
And then the lights go.
yeah, and it's like you're just like bobbing your head. It feels like a front bottom song or something.
Yeah, it's
But it's like and then Tyler, our engineer, really liked that part too.
Oh, it's
He's
so
like,
awesome.
I love the dance part.
and then the drums change so quick at the end, and then
That's the magic of Gabe.
yeah,
You
and
can
then
just pull it off.
oh, and then the ending, the like with the triplets on the end.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that so
Like
much.
that type of stuff we all like write together. It's
Yeah.
like it's like oh, how do we end it? And then how about you know, like
Yeah.
it's like I'll bring in like the chord progression, but then we're like, oh, rhythmically, how can we make this interesting?
Okay, what did Gabe add?
So Gabe, I think it was Gabe's idea for that dance part at the end. Like he started playing that drum beat, and then I started following it. I was like, yeah, this is cool. Another thing, Gabe and I always we're like constantly working on like, you know, working together as like a rhythm section.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like we've been really
Griff
trying.
and I do that all the time.
it's difficult. It's not like it's something you have to constantly like be
Yeah.
in check with each other. But I like the after the chorus where the boom boom ka ka boom boom ka boom
Yeah.
ka ka. That was like my idea, but like me and Gabe like started working on that. We're like, how can we make it a cool rhythm coming out of the chorus?
Oh, yeah.
And
No,
like-
it's really great, and it really kind of yeah.
Gabe started singing the harmony too on the chorus. It was like Gabe. It was Gabe's idea to have that harmony on the chorus.
Yeah,
I'm trying to
I-
think. Gabe and I really like the idea of having the instruments drop out for the second verse, and like just the bass for a second, and then and then everything comes back in.
With a big old drum
Yeah,
fill.
that was another thing we talked about.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just like another thing is like the second verse. We have like this philosophy where it's like the second verse needs something to grab your attention, because like you're listening to excuse me, where you're listening to a song and it's like sure, it's like just going got your intro, got your verse, got your chorus. Second verse needs something, whether it's like a weird sound or like a break off something.
I like that.
But like we
I
do
like
that
a
in
lot.
mood swings, where it's like you're taking every breath like it's your last time. You have those big group vocals in the background.
Yeah.
That's like
It's
that's
amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, that was when we wrote that. I was like,
You're
we
saying
need
like
that.
like a big old siren saying, "Hey, this is the second verse," kind of thing.
Yeah, almost. Yeah, but it like draws you back in, because
Yeah.
like I always end up getting bored if like nothing happens in the second verse.
Oh, that's a really good point. Now, this is a Matt Jett philosophy. Years ago, he just hated the second verse being the same as the first verse.
Mm-hmm.
And if you go back to Nothing New songs, the second verse is never the same as the first verse. There's always something like drastically different.
Mm-hmm.
And
I love that. That's cool.
and so that was kind of our little way of doing that. Is like a different drum beat, just a different feel.
Anything just to change it up.
Yeah, just like it could just be as simple like in Fiesta. Like the second verse is just in a different space. It's like it's in an ethereal realm.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But it's
yeah, I got it in my
everything is
head
the
now.
same. Essentially, the chords are the same. The drums obviously are different. But like it just it changes just like that. And that Matt is always, or I mean, for when we were writing those songs, was really big on that.
Yeah, I think that's like very necessary. It's like if you're gonna keep your listener engaged, and if you want to stay engaged as a person playing it, it's like I don't want to just go right back into it. I want something to like hype me up, coming up for the second time. It's like, oh shit, let's go. In the middle of the song, it's perfect.
Yeah.
Like it just gets you going. It gets everybody who's listening going. It's fun. Like,
I really like.
it.
I never really thought about it as like that before. Yeah. Okay. I like it though. I really like it. I like the idea of being like, hey, this is the second verse kind of thing.
That's kind of the.
Okay, when I write a song, I always have the thought, when it's done, I go, this song's great. I won't be done with the song if I don't think it's great, right? But in my head, it sounded more like this, blank, right?
Mm-hmm.
What could you relate to this? And what does tarot cards sound more like in your head? What didn't happen on the real song?
I mean, when I initially had the idea, I only had the chorus and I had the interlude to outro, to interlude to chorus to outro chorus, whatever you want to call it.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's all I had. Those verses, both I had the we're getting off to a rough start. I had that early,
Okay.
like when we first started playing it live, because when I brought the chorus and the outro to the guys, we were like, all right, we got to figure out verses. You know, and so like the like that progression, we wrote together, and I mean it turned out it was at first it wasn't where it was my idea, that chord progression, but it like at first it wasn't where I thought it was gonna go, like song wise, like I was just like, oh, this has a different feel than I thought.
Like the verse chord progression, you're saying?
Yeah,
Okay.
and then I don't know, I don't think it could have turned out like. I usually will bring a song to the guys and it'll be like, yeah, this feels like. Usually I'm missing something and then they complete it. Like,
Yeah.
you know?
Oh yeah.
Like that's how it goes. Like with when I do that type of writing style.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, honestly, not too much. Like, there's not too much I could have changed, or we could have changed to like make it more like what it sounded like in my head.
Okay.
Now I listen to it and I hear the big like instrumental like interlude, and I think, oh, there would have been cool with like some whoas or like some big group vocals over that would have been cool, or like a horn section. But that's just because I heard the new Mom Jeans album, and I'm like, oh, that's so cool. There's just always something catchy happening, and like that's something I've been trying to keep in my head. It's like you want something stuck in your head at all times, you know?
Yeah. Oh, when I'm writing a song, I want every moment to be catchy.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, for right now, you talk to me in 2 months and it might be different, but no, I have that. Yeah. Okay, what aspect of this song are you most proud of? Or what section? You know, aspect or section or whatever.
That I'm most proud of. Probably the last chorus and into that the coming back to that interlude progression.
Yeah.
I think that it just feels good every time we play it. Like that just feels right. You know, like the when the lights go down and I don't want to leave this house. It seems so played out. Like that whole section just feels like closure on the whole situation.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's like we're wrapping
really,
this up.
Yeah, closing.
I mean, and it's obviously the lights go down and you're closing, whatever. But like, and then finding a part of me beside you, like that just, I mean, it means like so many different things to me, you know, like means like finding a person that you feel comfortable with, but it also means like I was thinking about it today, and I was like, it like, in a way that it could be like about Mitch and Gabe, where it's like, yeah, like needing those guys to like feel complete.
Yeah.
And like getting back from tour without them, it's like, it's weird, you know, you know, but like, yeah, there's just so many different things, but I am really proud of that section. I like the lyrics I wrote for that.
I really
it's like
like
very
that
simple,
section.
but it's like, yeah, it's just a cool section. I'm proud of what we came up with together.
Well, you say it's simple, and I have this thought all the time on songs I write. I go, oh, this song is really simple, and then you get down to it, and you're like, this isn't simple at all.
Yeah, that.
Especially when you get to like the fact that you got that riff going, and then the chords going,
the riff
and
ends
the chorus
up tucked
comes
underneath.
in. Yeah, and the riff gets tucked, but then you bring the chords back, and then the drum beat changes. I mean, all these things happen. Nothing's actually simple about it.
Yeah.
But like
to the person who's like a part of writing it,
you were
like,
there every step of the way,
yeah.
So you don't think it's simple. And I have that when I try to explain a song that I wrote to somebody, and I'll be like, oh, it's just this chord progression. And then and then it's so many like, but instead of this, but instead of that, but instead of this. But I was there every step of the way, so it just seems so simple to me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, what's the? I think we talked about this a little bit. But what's the last thing you wrote in this song?
The last thing I wrote was the I fucking hate this. I'll hide in the basement. It's not that it's basic. Tonight I will be your entertainment. That whole section.
I see.
That was the last part of the puzzle.
So what do you have against tarot cards? I'm joking.
Like I said, it's not even like. I think that like, it's kind of fun to have your like people read your tarot cards. It's fun, but it's more. It's not really about tarot cards specifically. It's about having that attention taken away from you.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, oh, this is about this person now? Like, okay, I'm not interested.
Yeah.
You know? It's like the can we change the conversation thing. Can we make it about me?
You're always changing the station. I was like that, because I'm imagining in the car.
yeah. Or like on the TV, you're like, no.
Yeah.
And everybody's like, I like that.
Yeah.
Like, no, that's not for me.
Yeah.
But no, yeah, that's the last thing I wrote. And, I wrote that in Eureka Studios, like, the day before we recorded it. I sat down and I was like, I really need to write something for this. And like, yeah, I don't know, for some reason that pressure feels good. It's like I need this. I got to do this.
Oh, I don't know if I
could
do
paying so much to record this.
I don't think I could do that with lyrics. Maybe, I don't know.
It's not. I want to stop doing it.
Do you ever have it when you write lyrics? Let's say it's in your notes app or something on your phone, and you got the song. I mean, you don't do much recording. Maybe you do, like on your phone or something. You'll just record something, or I don't know. But I have it. I'll just tell it from my perspective. I have it where I'll record a song. I got the lyrics; they're there. Or maybe I post the song or anything like that, and I go back to that app, that notes thing, and the lyrics are different.
Yeah, then in your head.
Yeah, and then like I go, well, these are better than what the fuck I recorded,
Yeah.
And I don't know what the fuck happened.
I've done that before where it's like, ah, shit, this word's definitely not, like, there's always words that aren't the same. It's like, oh, man. Like, I'll go back and, like, especially when we have to, like, post our lyrics. When I went and, like, posted all our lyrics for the album.
Yeah.
On, like, whatever, on DistroKid.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of them were different. It's like, oh, shit, I gotta change that before I
Yeah.
upload it. Because, like, either we just sung it different when we were in there, or, like, at some point it changed in your head.
Uh-huh.
And you're like, no.
It's
Because
fun.
something feels better than the other. I don't know.
Because a lot of times I'll be posting this stuff for like nothing new. I'll be the one actually finally posting it, and I'll be doing the lyrics, and I'll be like, hey Matt, what did you sing? And he'll send me the lyrics thing, and they're just all wrong. Not like, you know what I mean, or not wrong, but they change.
It. Yeah, they change. They change
So I got to
all
go
the time.
through and change them, and it's funny to think like, you're right, that was clunky.
Yeah, good choice.
Good
choice there.
Yeah, things like that. Is there a word or like a phrase or a line that was really tripping you up? I know we kind of talked about this before, but
I'm always checking the time. You might think I'm awkward.
Yeah.
I'm always checking the time. Mitch wrote that. That was Mitch's idea.
Okay.
Mitch was like, yeah, that sounds way better than whatever I had. So I'll pretend to know how to ride a skateboard. Stupid.
Oh, that's what it replaced.
That's what it was. So like, I'm always checking the time. Replace that, and it's so much better. It's such a
But you
better
liked
line.
it when Mitch gave it to you?
Yeah. I was like, thank God. Like,
Okay.
please.
Was there anything that Mitch or gave proposed that you were like, nah?
There's always that where like we have those moments where like it's just like one of us says something where it's just like, I don't think so. The riff at the beginning,
Yeah.
Mitch's riff,
Yeah.
I love it now. I think it's the coolest fucking thing.
Okay.
But when he did it, at first I was like, that's too complex. Like, cause I told him I was like, I think we need to have something that's able to get stuck in your heads more, or stuck in your head more.
Oh,
Yeah, now it gets stuck in your
my
head. Yeah, but like at the time I was like, it's too wild. It's too crazy.
Oh
There's
my
too
gosh.
much going on. I can't like internalize it.
Dude, Scrappy.
Same thing.
Oh, I bit my tongue for months.
It's,
And because I was just like, he really likes this riff. But I was just like, I could not hear it.
But
And
then
now I
eventually you can hear it.
Yeah,
You're like,
and I
yeah.
hear it, and I'm like, oh, this is a great riff.
Yeah.
But I'm like 7, and then like 7, 8, and then 4, 4. I'm like, what? Why?
Yeah.
But now I hear it, I'm like, oh yeah, and like it grooves so good at the end and stuff.
Oh, yeah. And that's the same with that riff too. Like I was trying to sing that song live, and like I could not figure out where to come in. Because it's like I didn't know where it started and where it ended.
Okay.
So I was like, where do I come in? It's like, we're getting off to a rough start.
Yeah.
I'd have to. Mitch and I like sat and like he like played the riff over and over again, and I was like trying to figure out where I come in with the vocals,
Oh,
and
yeah.
it took me forever.
Oh,
And,
I've been
and now
there.
I got
Yeah.
it, but like it took so long to be able to hear that out for what it was, and, like figure out like where my vocals come in.
You get stuck on a different beat. That'll happen to me. I get stuck on a different beat.
Yeah.
There's songs that I got stuck on the wrong beat in my head as a kid, and I will never be able to hear it on the other beat. Like, Tell Me Something Good by Shaka Khan. Like, that. I don't know if you know the song.
No, I don't know the song.
But like, you better stop noticing the sound of his side. The snare drum's on 4 to me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, and 3, and 4, 1, 2, and 3, and 4, like that. And I love the beat so much, but it's not. It's on fucking 3 or something. I don't know. I'm off by a half beat.
But like it just feels that way to you.
Yeah, it just feels like that. And like, it's down inside. Kind of 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and then they go, and I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Tell me something good. Like they put a 5. They didn't do that. You know what I mean? They didn't put
Yeah.
5, 4 in there. I just put it in my head.
Yeah, you're just like it. I like that.
Yeah, half the Metallica songs are like that too. Battery. It's just so fast. I hear it on the upbeat.
I don't know Metallica either.
No?
Sorry.
Can we relate to any music?
I don't think so.
Okay. Sorry.
There's probably a few there, here and there. One of these days.
Okay. One of these days. Okay, I don't think I have any more questions. I think we wrung everything out on this song.
Yeah, I think we did too.
So, yeah.
Thanks for having me on.
Listen to
first
tarot
episode.
cards. Yeah, the first tarot episode. Can I tell you, I had this idea for something like this a long time ago. and I wanted to call it Johnny Car Seat.
I saw that. It says in there. Johnny Car Seat.
Yeah, and then I'd have you sit on a car seat. It's one of those dumb puns.
Or like strapped into a car seat.
Oh, I should have done it. Let's redo it.
Let's start from the top.
Okay.
Tyson?
Listen to tarot cards.
All right.
September 23rd.
Thank you. It'll be out by then. We'll be dropping this by the time it's out.
Yeah?
Don't you think?
I don't know. Depends on how quickly I can edit.
Well, I mean, like...
Doesn't take long to edit.
I mean...
Do you want him to do another take or is this out now?
Okay, yeah, say tarot cards.
You're saying most of the time is going to be after Friday.
Yeah, so you say tarot cards out now.
Tarot cards is out now.
It's out now.
We should do promo takes. Yeah. I got this. Hey, I'm sitting here with Esden Stafne, and we're talking about tarot cards. Tarot cards is out now.
It's out now.
Listen to it.
Thank you.
Tarot cards is out this Friday.
Friday.
Pre-save tarot cards.
Thank you. All right. Bye-bye. Okay. That was good.